Hello everyone and welcome to this fourth and final video in the Living Souls range, the 99 and 1 blended whiskey. Now what a funny little name, the 99 and 1. A fun experiment that takes 99% of a heavily peated, heavily sherried island whiskey, not Ireland the country, but an island of Scotland, and mixed it with 3-year-old grain whiskey at 1% of the overall blend. So 99% is heavily peated 18-year-old, 1% is 3-year-old grain. If the company decided to put an age statement on this bottle, they would have to put a 3 on the front of it, because under Scotch Whisky Association regulations, you must declare the youngest whisky in the bottle, and that is the same for most other whisky regulatory bodies too. So therefore it has no age statement. It is a blend, it's bottled at 46.3% ABV, natural colour, no chill filtration, and would have set you back £55. Sadly, it's sold out everywhere because when people realise what it was, why wouldn't you buy it? I nearly bought it, and it was just before a payday. I was waiting to get paid, went to buy it, sold out. Devastated. I'm sure I will bump across a bottle somewhere. Let's give you guys an idea of the viscosity of this whiskey. It's been in the glass for around an hour or so. Wonderfully coating it. Look at that colour too. Phenomenal. Let's not beat around the bush, let's jump straight into the nose. Now I know I don't know for sure what distillery this comes from in terms of the malt. Many people have had many an educated guess, and Living Souls haven't done much to prove that guess wrong, which I'm always a fan of. So this is, if rumour is to be true, this is from Leipzig, or the malt compartment is from Leipzig. And you get that, man. Like, years and years and years ago. I think it was a 19. I can't remember if it was a Leipzig 18 or a Leipzig 19. The bottle is in here somewhere. I can't remember what year it was. I want to say 2019. It was a toss-up for Whisky of the Year between a Cavalan single cask, which I have just there, and this Leipzig. I'm sure it was a 19-year-old, fully matured in, I want to say PX. I should really know that bottle better. This smells just like that. It's bacony and like all of those kind of slow cooked, caramelized fruity jams, and there's even like that kind of caramelized onion. It's a little bit mushroomy as well. All of those wonderful savory umami sort of profiles, backed up with quite a lot of smoke and loads of sherry. Tons and tons of sherry. Just completed a video series about, wasn't directly a comparison, but essentially Macallan versus Tomatin, both are 12-year-olds. And I made a comment on that video, in fact both of those videos, about how I move in and out of liking sherry cask whiskey all the time, except if it's peated. Then most of the time I do enjoy it. But yeah, loads of smoke, loads of perfumey, ashy smoke. Bacon, jam, caramelized onions, mushroom. Almost like mushroom powder. I don't know if this is really specific, but some of you may have had it if you ever season French fries with mushroom powder. Unreal. As is only 1% 3-year-old grain in it, not really picking up the grain, to be honest. It would be quite difficult to pick up any grain whiskey, no matter what the age, in something as dominant as 18-year-old Leipzig. I was just going for the taste because this is too tantalising. Oh man, that's so good. That is everything you want from a big, old, sherried, peated single malt. Technically there is grain in it. The grain is kind of irrelevant because I just don't taste it at all. You know, this 99% of this is single malt. So we're gonna essentially treat it like a single malt. That is deep and rich and brooding and delicious and chewy. This is my first whiskey of the day. You'll notice the different shirt from the other videos. All my equipment died yesterday due to a power cut. So I am recording a different one today. I'm glad that's the first whiskey of the day. That is sticky, sweet, savoury, salty, smoky, stunning. All of the words that begin with S, apart from the bad one. You get the salt so much more after the first sip. Big sweet sherry. Opens up the show. The curtains are drawn back. Sticky dates, figs, that kind of caramelised fruity thing. The smoke doesn't really start to make itself known until the end. What we get is the salt that follows the sweetness. And that salt is still kind of merging with those sweet profiles to the point where it reminds me of salted dark chocolate. Then it starts to become really bitter, like 90% cocoa. That kind of level of bitter chocolate. The salt still kind of moves around, and then it feels like the smoke kind of just appears in your cheeks. These little kind of like little depth charges of smoke. It's not a spicy whiskey at all. It's not cask strength. 46.3, yeah, which is the same bottling strength as Ledaig and Bunnahabhain and Tobermory and Deanston. What's going to be really annoying about this is going to get quite a high score, and it's going to be the second whiskey of the year so far that gets a really high score that I can't buy. I'm just going to quickly check out. This is very unprofessional of me on this video. I may edit this section out, I'm not sure. I'm just going to quickly check if bottles of this are available on a very popular whiskey auction site. They are, and both of them sold for under retail. So it looks like I'll be picking one up at retail. Retail was 55. Both of these bottles sold on Scotch whisky auctions for 50. Who puts this on an auction? What are you doing? Just drinking. Idiots. That is stunning. Like I say, the grain is irrelevant. This is essentially just an 18-year-old Ledaig, or 99% of an 18-year-old Ledaig. And there aren't many better words in the whiskey world than 18-year-old Ledaig in sherry. Stunning. Solid 9.5 out of 10. I need to make a note of that on my phone now because that's the second highest score of the year, and I can't actually buy this bottle, although I will now be keeping an eye out on auction sites in June, or at the end of June. But anyway, that's both very good and a little disappointing all at the same time. Thank you all for watching this little Living Souls series. It's been quite fun. I do have another series coming up, and it's pretty weird. I really should have done it last year because I was given the bottles in a little sample set last year from a friend of mine, Mark. I've still not actually reviewed more than half of them yet because they're just a bit funky and a bit weird, and it'll be a very strange series, but hopefully you'll all sort of tune in for it because it's going to be interesting. I'll keep that secret until you see the first video pop up. But thank you for watching this. If you've never familiarised yourself with Living Souls, I highly recommend you do. They're incredible independent bottlers. Their whiskies are very good value. I've been impressed by literally all of them so far, and I cannot wait to see what they're doing in the future. The only one of theirs I haven't now tried is a 45-year-old Bunnahabhain single cask that they bottled, but they only bottled something like 8 bottles of it, I think. So chances are probably won't get to try that, but I bet it's amazing. But thank you all for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers.